Good morning, students. Today, the class about Foundation English, Grammar and Composition, Unit 4. Here, the first topic adjectives and prepositions. What is meant by adjectives? Adjectives are normally placed immediately before the noun that it describes what it be used after some verbs to describe the subject of a sentence. What is sentence? A group of words joined together and combine and give an complete sense is called sentence. Here, adjectives plays an important role in the noun as well as verbs also. For some examples, a dangerous snake came out of a hole. Here, note that adjective is dangerous. It is placed before the noun. Noun is snake. This is correct one. And another word, a snake, dangerous, came out of a hole. It is wrong sentence because the adjective is placed after the noun. First of all, we tell adjectives are normally placed immediately before the noun. But here, the second sentence, a snake dangerous came out of a hole. You can see that dangerous is before the noun. So it is wrong. The right one is a dangerous snake came out of a hole. When we use more than one type of adjectives, we are order, size, color, and nationality. For examples, red color, blue color, yellow color, etc. We can say the size. In this size, some examples are size small, medium, and large. Here, nationality for example, American, Indian, Asian, etc. These are the two adjectives from the color group we used and between them, and is very important that placed in that adjectives. So next we move on to prepositions. Prepositions are a word such as in, on, of, to, at, from, for, between, and with. These are usually placed before the nouns, pronouns, or verb form ending ing. Basically, prepositions denote relationship in space and time. What is meant by noun? Noun is nothing but naming of words or a place or a things. Pronouns means instead of nouns. Verb means action, doing something. So here the preposition is the correct pronoun to use an object pronoun, that is me, you, him, her, it, us, them. In the same way that we can say between him and her, not between he and she. Here you can say he means denotes with male and she denotes with female. So he in the preposition we can say has him, and instead of that she we can use that her. So we can say between you and me, not between you and I. Okay. When distinguish between the prepositions of of and off, the following basic points can be kept in your mind. The first one is the commonest way of showing a relationship between words is to use of. Of is the common relationship between the words. So here preposition, for example, a cup of tea. Of is common. Next word, the end of the road. Of is common. Next, the basic meaning of OFF. Of is away from. It is also opposite of on. For example, keep off the grass. That means do not walk on the grass. So off is also associated with movement. For example, they set off clearly to show at what point of time and even as occurred. We can use sometimes prepositions like at, on, and in, and even can happen at a point of time or on a day or date or in a period of time. For examples, at a point of time. For example, at 2 o'clock at Diwali, on a day or date, on Tuesday, on 7th March, in a period of time. Example, in March, in the night. There is note, in is omitted before last or next. So omitted means cancelled, or do not do is called omitted. So this is about prepositions. Next, we can move on second lesson, direct to indirect speech. So in this direct and indirect speech, you can read in smaller classes like 12th. You already know about it. So once again, I tell you about in direct speech, we have to put the actual words within double quotation. This is very important first point. You can use always the direct speech into an double quotation marks. And second one, in direct speech or reported speech, we have to report that is said. When we report what someone has said, we can change tenses, adverbs, and pronouns. So, second point, as a reported speech, the report that we said has been changed the sentences and tenses, adverbs, and pronouns also. So here some of the important criteria distinguish between direct and indirect speech. Some of the tenses are followed as first one, direct speech, simple present. We can say simple present means verb plus yes. In change into indirect, simple past, verb plus ed. In direct, present continuous, verb plus ing. In indirect, past continuous. So to, was, or were, be plus verb plus ing. And third one, present perfect, have or as should be placed. In indirect, past perfect. For example, subject plus had plus past participle. Next, present perfect continuous is used in direct speech, and in indirect, past perfect continuous is used. Next, direct sentence, we can use simple past. In indirect, we can use past perfect. And finally, past continuous is used in direct, and in indirect, past perfect continuous is used. So these are the important tenses can be changed from direct to indirect. So next we can move to the following tables, that how to use the reporting verbs according to the kind of sentence used in direct speech that can be separate from conjunctions when they were converted into indirect speeches. So first one, direct speech. In this direct speech, we can say this is statement, associative, or declarative sentences. Assertive means it's a fact. And in reports verb, you can say, says, said, tell, tells, and told. The conjunction word is that. In second one, WH questions or yes or no questions, we can use as a reporting verb as ask, asks, asked, inquires, inquired, question, questions, questioned. In same way, the conjunction are used to WH question is same WH word. So no problem in this area. Next, we can move on to direct speech, yes or no questions. We can use the reporting verb as ask, asks, asked, inquire, inquired, question, questions, and questioned. And in that way of conjunction is followed as if or whether. And finally, we move on to direct speech as an exclamatory sentences. We can say in reporting verb exclaim, exclaims, exclaimed, that. These are the reporting verbs which are followed as a direct speech as exclamative sentences. Next, we can move on to imperative sentences as a direct speech. We can use the reporting verb as order, orders, ordered, request, request, requested, command, commands, commanded, advice, advises, advised, argue, argues, and argued. So these are the reporting verbs which can used as a imperative sentence as a direct speech. In that imperative sentence as a direct speech, we can use the common word conjunction is to. This is very important rules and regulation that is followed in the direct speech as an reporting verb and conjunction. So students, make note, this is an important way how to change as a direct speech into indirect speech. So the conversion is very important. That reporting verb and the conjunction plays a major role in converting the direct to indirect speeches. So next we can move on to mind map. What is meant by mind map? Mind map is an activity of making a person use his imaginative skills to think and plan to execute the work of different topics in oral or written form. This is a task may be carried out by an individual or by a pair or groups. So there is an direction. A mind map. Map means gives an direction. A direction is a common word or expression should be proposed by a team first. The other team is required to list concepts that are associated with the same way. For example, we would associate the word paper with writing, ink, pen, book, etc. are to be used. So the list can go on. If a pair or group list items for which you fail to find any connection, you may ask that pair or group or to justify and explain the words or expression. Expression is one kind of feelings. For example, if they are list of kite, they may explain. You can use the paper to make kites for children. The winner is the team that gets the most association in the shortest possible time. So some of the activities that are followed as an imaginative uses that can be think of it. For example, if a word umbrella is a common to give, and you have may used as a following uses. First one, umbrella is used to provide shelter from the sun, to provide shelter from rain, to hide one face from others, to hit your enemy, to play hockey or billiards. These are the uses of the item umbrella. So similarly, you can think of objects like toothbrush, newspaper, pencil, hockey stick, bags, and you may be assigned some topics like Indian woman of today, or Indian politics today, or the effects of protest against the government, etc. For example, you can write about newspaper. What is meant by newspaper? News, the abbreviation of news, north, east, west, and south, and their uses of newspaper. The uses is nothing but gives an information through reading, so it can develop the reading skill also. So these are the examples of mind map. Some of the image and exercises are followed as the following situations are: you are stand in a remote desert Iceland in the Pacific Ocean. You have found water on the Iceland and nothing else. Second one, by luck you win a lottery ticket. And third one, you won the election that you are nominated as a prime minister. These are the exercise that given in a mind map, and you should write in your own words what are the uses in the topics. So this is about mind map. Next we can move on to notice. Notice is commonly an organization usually devises rules of procedure for the conduct of meeting These rules indicate that the frequency of meeting of different units are prescribed that the notice period for calling meeting, besides indicating the person who has to right to call it and the persons who have a right to attend it. When we are required to call a meeting, we have to send a written notice within a specified time to every member of the group. The notice should mention the name and address of the organization and the date on which it is issued, besides indicating the day, time, and venue of the meeting. So the business is translated that it should be mentioned in the notice if the number of items is small. Otherwise, it should be indicated as a separate sheet and enclosed with the notice. So some of the notice add an important roles, plays an important roles. Some of them are reports on matters of importance on to staff. Second one, advertise post for internal appointment. Third one, inform staff on news procedures and rules. Convey growth and development of the company. And last one, announce social programs. These are the important notice that we can serve a number of purposes in any office. For example, it can be an IT office or it can be a bank, etc. So next, this is the model of notice. You can see a notice always present in the tabular column in sub area box type. So in that first one, this is the heading Pratik Industries Limited and address DS House, Palladam Road, Coimbatore. So you can mention the notice. First one is the company name and address, and followed to be an date and year. Here the example is 07 March 2018, and this is the subject. Next you can write in the notice the subject. The subject is Staff Welfare Association Executive Committee meeting. So the major body of the notice is the first meeting of the executive committee will be held at 5 p.m. on Wednesday 20th March 2018 in room number 17 DS House. Please make it convenient to attend the all members. The secretary, yes, Shivashankari. This is one model of notice. So students make note this. This is very important topic. So next we can move on to expansion of proverbs. What is expansion? Expansion means elaboration. It is an act of elaborating the given passage or a proverb or a maximum. It is usually kind of paragraph writing. It is miniature essay. In expanding proverbs, the following hints may be kept in your mind. The following important points to be expand and proverb are: first one, the clear thinking is necessary to understand the main idea or title about which we are expected to write. That is, we are expected to study the given problem or proverb of maximum carefully. The second point, we should think out the points we want to deal within the paragraph and jot them down in coherent order. And third point, we should start, if possible, within a strike sentence which may express the main idea and awaking the readers to interest. The opening sentence may thus be key sentence. It should be clear, express that what we are going to write about it. And fourth point, we should vary the length and structure of our sentences to avoid repetition and monotony and write complete sentences. Every sentence should state a clear fact of idea. Sentence should be simple, short, and concise. And fifth point, there should be an logical progression of thought. Sixth point, we should clearly explain the implication and significance of a topic. Seventh point, we should explain the topic and illustrations wherever possible. Illustration means examples. Next, last point, we should end up with a sentence that summarize that what we have said earlier. Earlier means before. So the expansion of proverb is nothing but it's to be elaborate and proverb in your own style and your own mind, and what the topic is said, it should be clearly explained with implications and significance, and give wherever the illustrations should be possible. So this is the summarize and summary about expansion of proverb. Now we can move on to the examples of expansion of proverb. The first one proverb is no pains, no gains. This is a proverb that we can give an expansion to elaborate. Is the first one is outline. The examples of gains that come by chance do not make that proverb untrue. So the outline is nothing but the gain. The gain is always come by chance, but do not the proverb is untrue. Don't make it is untrue. The first one is no royal road to learning, and second one, even genius must work. Third one, no success in business without work. And fourth one, character building means effort. These are the outline examples of the proverb no gains, no pain, no gains. So now we can move on to how to elaborate the proverb. This proverb means that we cannot achieve a success in anything without effort and sacrifice. So at first sight, we can seem that to be quite true, for we can think of examples of peoples who have gained much without any trouble of themselves. A man who happens to have been gained or been born the son of millionaire, we will get wealth and death of his father without any effort of his part. The people sometimes win a large sum of money in a lottery without a slightest effort, but such cases of luck are exponential and cannot be counted. For most people, it remains true. That's a success of can be won only at the cost of hard work. So today we see the 5 important topics in grammar section. The first one is grammar and composition. First one is adjectives and preposition error finding. In that first one, we can already see about adjectives, and the next one preposition. And the second lesson, we move on to direct and indirect speech. And the third one, mind map. Fourth one, notice. And finally, we see expansion of proverb. So if you have any doubts, so please make note and ask me anytime. And thanks